So in today's call, I'm going to help my man here, Lawrence, basically set up an entire career coaching funnel dedicated towards, in this case, like software engineers, QA, customer success, the niches that I'm familiar with, basically in tech. Lawrence, how you doing over there?
Good, good, man. Appreciate you bringing me on today and kind of, take me through this journey.
Oh man, anything I can go out there and do to help, because as you could basically see, we need a lot of help in the marketplace, right? So
Uh,
currently right now, I would say one of the biggest niches that is not being uh taken advantage of enough is actually career coaching. And there's like a huge amount of money to be printed in this space, especially in the world of like AI career coaching. So there's like, I think, two things to it. Number one, getting tech job hunters more interviews and more everybody more interviews and coaching them through like the interview process. But also the other part is helping everybody upskill all in the process because there isn't like people aren't, you know, they aren't, everybody needs to learn AI right now. But even that is like could warrant like, 90 freaking videos, right? Because um, you need to learn AI specific to your job. Unfortunately, the companies that you are working for or have worked for have no interest in training you how to use AI because they're secretly trying to figure out how to eliminate you completely from the process. Right. So
mhm.
there's that. Number two, the companies that are building AI products like Lovable or like NAN, they could provide better education on how to use AI, but they're also not doing it because they make money every single time you hit prompts. So the more you prompt and the more you're learning it from trial and error, the more money they're making. So they're not really in the business of educating you as well. So that kind of leads you. And there's a huge series of job hunters out there that's in any particular niche that needs a lot of help. So what I would recommend for somebody that wants to break into career coaching, in this case, let's talk about like some of the niches and any niche, any career niche is fine. You can either focus on industry or you can focus on position. For the purpose of today's call, let's focus on a position. One of the positions is, let's just say, like customer success manager or QA or UX researcher. Software engineer is another one. Business analyst is another one. How do you first get leads onto how do you first get leads onto your platform? Because you have no traffic right now. So you have to build some degree of traffic, right? I'm going to highlight this to you on Miro, and I'm going to also highlight this to you on LinkedIn. So you can kind of go out there and see the roadmap. So first things first is I'm going to pull out my money printing machine, Miro board. And then uh, I'm just going to go out there and make some very basic highlights. So on one side, we're going to have Lauren's bank account. Right. And Lawrence's bank account is going to be here. And Lawrence's bank account is going to come from, let's just say, career coaching is right here. And there's a few ways that people can go out there and basically pay you. They can go out there in the world of career coaching, they can pay you for one-on-one coaching, right? It's like I only want to talk to Lawrence and I don't want to see anybody else. That's fine.
Mhm.
You can go out there and do some form of group coaching. You can also go ahead and do some form of online class because anybody that's asking you enough questions, you're just going to realize everybody's asking you the same kind of questions.
Mhm.
So, no reason why you can't create like a standard operating procedure, right? And everybody
Right.
will eventually get here. Then the next thing that you have is you've got like online course, you got like some form of community. And you basically have all these players right here going into your bank. via cash. So let's take a look at who needs a career coach. Well, a career coach, you got to be looking for a job. So your target demographic are going to be two people. Your target demographic is going to go ahead and be a job hunter. So, somebody that knows their job's going to get impacted, right? So let's just say, like, in this case, let's just say, like, we're talking about software engineers, right? You could either talk about existing software engineers, or you can also talk about aspiring software engineers. So, like, how do we go ahead and actually get these people in the first place? Organically, because we don't want to spend a bunch of money, but we need a bunch of leads. So what do we do? Well, the easiest thing is to go out there and post on LinkedIn. You post something that everybody needs on LinkedIn. So my suggestion is you have a LinkedIn job post on basically total autopilot on repeat, right? So what I would go ahead and do is the following. So right now, jobs, they're being transacted this way. Somebody's posting up for a role and they're saying like there's just so much applications that's being flooded into the inbox, right? There's so much applications that's being flooded into the inbox, and all the resumes basically look the same. This is largely why dating apps have completely failed, like in major cities, and people are like running clubs, they're taking over, right? Because people are like, it's no point. And then now it's just like Bumble's talking about, well, we're going to create an AI for you that's going to communicate with somebody else's AI. All you're doing is just increasing distance. And when the pendulum swings too far in one direction, the pendulum is going to swing in basically another direction. So what I would recommend, what's worked out for me is, let's just say I'm hiring for like an HVAC technician, right? People are just posting up there like, I need an HVAC technician. I need an HVAC technician. Because why? Like they're just like, yo, they're taking a look at their inbox, and it's equivalent to somebody just looking at their Tinder account. They're just like, yo, fuck this. I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna go to a running club, right? Like, what's the point in this? So if I go ahead and let's just say I hit customer success manager, very simple, right? It's like PandaDoc, they're hiring, and I think everybody's heard of PandaDoc, Frontify. So all these people here, this is the manager of customer success, right? It's like, hey, this is the VP of customer success management that took a photo and had somebody from the design team, or she went on Canva herself and said, I need somebody. But like you're in a few group chats with me and you're like, you're seeing it. People are feeling demoralized. They're like, oh, the market's bad. Is like, how many rolls you hit today? 14. It's like, yo, come on, bro. Like those are some rookie numbers. We got to go out there and up those numbers
Mhm.
up, right? So what I do is quite, and there's like 180 comments. It's like, well, if the market's that bad, why aren't they hiring? Well, bro, give me a better message other than I need a job. Like,
Mhm.
I'm not like I'm interested. Like, yeah, there's like every new restaurant opening in any city, as soon as it opens, everybody's rushing it. Why? Because it's new, right? It's your responsibility now to go out there and keep people coming back, or to keep new people coming back, right? Coming in, right? But
Mhm.
like, this isn't making me want to run to my DocuSign here and like draft you up an offer letter, right? This is not. So you have to create like a better message. So what I've realized is if you can automate the process as much as you can, first things first is here's what you want to do. You want to go ahead and repost this and you want to have a message. And in your message, I just use a very simple message. I'm going to say Brittany, and I'm just going to go out there and tag Brittany, right? And I was going to say, is from whichever company name. In this place, it's called Disco, is hiring for a customer success manager and just posted, right? And I'm gonna have a little message in there, and I'm gonna say like, you know, if you think the job hunting market is brutal, think again. Right. And I'm going to say something along the lines because we're pressed for time here of like, I'm going to have a message and I'm
Mm-hmm.
basically going to try to go out there and close up the distance on this process. And I'm going to direct them somewhere. If you want access to more customer success manager referrals, visit me on WAP. Right? Because WAP's free.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you're going to move people into a domain which you own because now you basically have this platform, right? Now you basically have this platform where you have an email, you can stay in contact with them because it's about constant engagement. Anybody basically needs about 20 touch points right now to go out there and convert. So if you're not touching somebody at least like 20 times, they're not going to go out there and convert. So
Mm-hmm.
what can you go out there and do now to make this happen? Well, the first things first is you're going to need a WAP because WAP allows you to have like resume templates posted on there, curriculum templates that's posted on there. Because if you just send a customer success manager this into, let's just say you had a room of 200 people, they're going to be looking at you like a reindeer looking at headlights saying, okay, Lawrence, what am I supposed to do with this? Your natural
Mm-hmm.
tendency is like, you need a job. You're a customer success manager. You don't have a customer success manager job. Hit this freaking person up. But they're thinking, like, what? How? That's where your real coaching or your value proposition comes in. Is I'm going to provide you with 20 different customer success manager templates, which you can find on WAP. I'm going to provide you with 8 LinkedIn profiles that's fully optimized for the ATS. That's provided to you on WAP. I'm going to go ahead and give you 100 messages that you can send to Brittany. That's going to be on WAP. I'm going to give you Loom video pitches and Loom video examples, which you can house as a curriculum on WAP. So you can charge anywhere, I would say $23, I think is very reasonable. And
Mm-hmm.
people would go out there and buy it just because they are, why? Because they're not going to source this shit themselves. So this took me,
Mm-hmm.
right, they're not going to do that. So in the time that I've had basically this call, it's about like 14 minutes, right? I'm going to take a look at the clock here. Okay, we're at
Mm-hmm.
52. So it's about 14 minutes. I would pay $23 for somebody to automate this into like some kind of like Airtable for me or some kind of like platform. Because now I basically have all of this in a list, right? For product management, we're already doing this for you guys. But beyond that, I would take a look at all the resources that they have. So resumes is like a given, right? So you're gonna get 80 business analyst roles like a day. And there really are 80 hiring managers that are posting up. Like if I'm scrolling down here, I'm not even getting creative. The number of people is like within 12 hours, I'm looking for a customer success manager, right? Uh, within like 5 days ago, I'm looking for a customer success manager. There is within 6 days ago, there are a lot of people, and you're gonna send them this. And it's like, yeah, but that was posted 6 days ago. Okay, send this resume, send this follow-up template with them. Whatever it is that they need, create those resources on the back end. And if you go out there and you hit, let's just say $23 a day, $23 per subscriber, you can cancel anytime and you do 43 of those subscribers a day, and there's 43 customer success managers that's looking for a job at any given time, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's $1,000 a day. And at $1,000 a day, you're printing about $30,000 a month, right?
Mm-hmm.
Solves a lot of your problems. Solves a lot of happiness problems, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's going to debate me on that, but I'm going to tell you, like, money always helps the situation a lot more. Now, having said that, that gives you, if you decide to leave the US, like, you only really need to do a third of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so what do you do first? Well, the first thing is you got to get your payment system set up on WAP because there's going to be three things that they need. They're going to need some form of video content in a particular standing operating procedure, which is going to be in the form of a curriculum. So WAP lets you host courses. You're going to need PDFs, templates, Google Docs, and you don't want to send it to people in a folder all the time. You're going to need that. The other thing that you're also going to need is you also need some kind of community platform where people can communicate so they can give you feedback so you can keep on stacking up your offer. So for $23 a month, it starts off with you're going to get 10 resume templates from Lawrence, customer success manager templates. And I'm just using customer success as an
Go ahead
example.
as an example.
Right. And then you're going to get like 8 LinkedIn profiles, right? And then you're going to get like 10 cover letters. And I'm going to give you 100 I'm going to give you 100 like let's just say LinkedIn message templates. I'm going to give you 18 I'm going to give you 18 Loom video pitches, right? And what else are they going to need? I'm going to give you this um customer success manager interview cheat sheet for round one. I'm going to give you this
Mm-hmm.
customer success manager interview cheat sheet for round two, for round three. I'm going to pair you up with interview partners. And then I'm going to also go ahead and I'm going to be hosting a few live streams. So what people really want right now is community and engagement. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm hosting a call every single day. You've been on the receiving end of my calls. And basically, I'm just going to be here to motivate and freaking rally, right? And I think you got the
Right.
personality to go out there and do it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be on this call. But like, you could completely just own that niche, right? And
Mm-hmm.
because like this is why CrossFit as a business model works, right? Is because like people know what they need to do. You're probably less than like, well, I don't know, 4% of the population that is disciplined enough to like go to the gym and do it day in and day out, day in and day out, day in and day out. Because in order to achieve any type of result, like, think about it this way. If the market's really that bad, why is the founder and CEO of Talos, which is a startup that just secured funding, saying, we're hiring for customer success managers? But the problem that people, you see, somebody with a very entrepreneurial mindset like yourself is going to be like, holy shit, that's the CEO. I'm going to hit that guy up right now. He just posted
Right.
8 minutes ago. But a lot of people, they're going to be thinking this. They're going to be like, they're not going to respond to me. Oh shit, I don't have enough experience. Okay, what do I say? I don't know what to say, so I'm not going to hit it up. I want to hit it up, right? So there
Yeah.
are all these different legitimate or illegitimate reasons of why they wouldn't go forward with this transaction. But the truth is, whatever gets promoted gets sold. So I launch my own business analyst like little low ticket item, which I showed you guys, and it got like 97,000 impressions like within about 8 days. Because there's a lot of business analysts getting freaking butchered right now in today's market, right? But
Mm-hmm.
there's also nobody that's in the business analyst space to go out there and help them out. But same thing with like customer success, because um, all of these roles they're moving into AI product management, but some people need a job right now. It's like, yeah, I would like to be an AI product manager, but like I still got bills to pay. Like one of them's coming in 2 days, so like I need interviews right now. So what I found out, like very simple, what we did in the beginning of the year is for 20, like for $23 a day, and then you can go out there and provide upsells. So like I can go out there and create additional resources, or I can give you some more additional coaching if you're able to pay up $500 or $1,500, right? All the while, you're generating success results. So you're constantly posting on LinkedIn, hey, this person just got an interview. This person just got an interview. And then people are going to be thinking, well, it sounds like it's way better than like what it is that I'm doing right now on my own. So you build that up. But I would say the longer and the bigger play of why you want to be a career coach is now Lawrence Ty is the face of customer success management because I don't see anybody owning that niche. And
Mm-hmm.
there's like 17 other roles that's been heavily impacted by AI that unfortunately they did not make the switch to AI product management fast enough. UX researcher has been rendered irrelevant. Product marketing manager has been rendered irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
Customer success, AI agents is straight taking their, I mean, there's still going to be a part of customer success that requires some degree of human interaction, but a
Sure.
lot of it can be taken care of now by AI agents, right? But if
Right.
you're hitting right now, I think it's just math. Like at the height, one of our guys in the call, Prit Wish, he did like 39 interviews like a week. And he told me like I wouldn't have been able to do that if, I wasn't at the time in Hong Kong hosting 2 calls a day. Like for just the first 2 weeks of the year, just to get the momentum really going. And
Mm-hmm.
this is, I think, like if we're thinking bigger, this is actually where like brand deals starts coming in because they're like, this guy or this girl has a heavily engaged demographic that they have high trust with that they just freaking own. They just freaking owned, right? So, the first things first is get the people into the WAP in there for free and then start offloading paid offers. But I'm doing that right now with like I posted up screenshots. We're doing that right now with cybersecurity. We're doing that right now with tech sales. We're doing that right now with HVAC. Is like I'm just
Mm-hmm.
asking people, what do you guys need? What do you guys need? What do you guys need? And
Mm-hmm.
I'm using all of that to just continually just stack and repurpose my offer. So in the past 3 days alone, I've gotten an extra 5,000 LinkedIn followers, right? So the real key in the future to making sure that nobody fucks with you is you have a following,
Mm-hmm.
right? You weaponize your following against anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So much things about violating you. Now, I hate to speak about it in such a combative term, but like overall, it's called distribution at the end of the day. Is
Mm-hmm.
somebody owns a territory or a digital piece of real estate, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like if you're thinking like, oh, I'm selling all this for like $23, like no, you're doing this to build your brand so nobody fucks
Mm-hmm.
with you, because that's going to be the go-to guy that owns that niche, the project like if you're talking about project management right now, if you're talking about product management, I don't know if I represent the whole market. I know I got a sizable piece of that market share. So,
Right.
like, if somebody's whipping out like this new road mapping tool or whatever, I'm like one of the guys that, and I've shown you guys like, this company reached out to me, this company reached out to me. Why? Because that's why people go on Shark Tank and they literally give away a third of their baby to a shark because it's like it's going to expedite the timeline to getting into Costco.
Right.
Because like you have a highly qualified demographic of people that's coming in every Saturday and Sunday to shop in bulk. So if you're talking about selling into families, like that's it. Like this is why Amazon bought Whole Foods. Amazon
Mm-hmm.
loves crushing businesses and then they come on it.
Right.
Is add gasoline, right? So
Right.
the from top to bottom is you start target a few niches, but you just say like, I'm doing this. You post up the jobs, and then you just set up a WAP, and you say like, if you want more jobs, just go in the WAP, just get it in there. And another
Mm-hmm.
thing that you can also do is just set up like a group chat on LinkedIn because people are on LinkedIn every single day. So this is actually
Mm-hmm.
something that we recently implemented, and you saw the engagement has really shot up. Is like because we're like on Instagram now, we're on WAP, and we're on freaking LinkedIn, right? It's about keeping the people like every single day accountable because that's where you're going to generate results. And the person that can rally the most results by keeping their people the most engaged, they're going to have the most social proof. And the more social proof that you have, more people are going to want to come in. And the more people that want to come in, the more companies are going to reach out to you. That's it. So if I was to give you like the next 5 deliverables for like what you're gonna do when you're gonna wake up is basically this. Number one, go on WAP and register a name. And it could just be
Mm-hmm.
called like customer success managers or just CSM. And it's
Mm-hmm.
something that's very targeted so people feel like that is speaking to me. Or I just registered one last night, HVAC technicians.
Mm-hmm.
There's no doubt into like what is it that we're trying to do here, right? And you can look up
Mm-hmm.
videos about like how to set up a WAP from scratch. WAP actually does a pretty good job showing you how to set up a WAP. So you set up a
Mm-hmm.
WAP, and while you're waiting to get your payment system approved, right?
Mm-hmm.
Waiting to get your payment system approved because they will ask for like EIN number, and this is the way that you're getting paid
Mm-hmm.
and collect payment anyway. So you might as well just give really good free shit because
Hmm.
you're gonna get a bunch of people rushing in there. And then once people are rushing in there, start asking people, what do you guys need? And you start rallying success. All your social proof, you post it up on LinkedIn, and then you rally people in there some more. And you rally, you post, you post, you post, you post, you post. By the time your payment's approved, now you've gathered all this data of all the problems that they have. Now you can start selling shit. Now you can sell your 20 resume templates. Now you can sell your your LinkedIn templates. All those templates, you can sell it. And then you can host times where they're going to deploy it. Because number one is they're not going to go and prompt this shit themselves. You have to provide it for them. And the second thing is they're not going to do this shit on their own. You have to hold them accountable. So streaming is also going to be like a revenue stream on WAP too, right? We just post up like I'm going live again tonight, 6 p.m. See you guys all there, 3 p.m. Pacific time. We are not getting off of this call today until we book 50 interviews. And he just posts. It's like, we got interview 41, champs, 42, 43,
Hmm.
44, and you know what that's going to do? It's just ramp more people into your shit. So, like, the biggest niche right now is career coaching because they're the ones that are hurting the most. And as you've seen, because you've been on multiple job hunts with me,
Hmm.
it's just the friction of getting the application out. That's just the same friction as people have moving into the gym. You know, like they don't really have a game plan in terms of like, what am I going to do? Like, if you're really locked in and focused, in an hour, you can go out there and knock out 80 apps or like
Hmm.
150 apps. And that's all it is. And they're not going to do it on their own. So you're going to facilitate it like it's Soul Cycle. All right, champs, let's go. Last 10 minutes, finish strong. Yeah,
Right.
but
Wait, so before creating a WAP account and like setting up the WAP, how are we generating leads to go to the WAP? You're posting on LinkedIn first, right?
right, you're posting on LinkedIn. And
Okay.
I got a 60-second hard stop for my next meeting.
Okay.
But your WAP you can always change the URL and you can always change the handle. So the first thing is you want to just get your WAP registered and you want to like find out what information you need to get submitted and what information you can start submitting to just get the payment approval process in there. So I
Okay.
would say that's the first one. And then the second one is start sourcing up those roles or just posting. Because you can post like 20 times a day, it's not really going to matter because people are going to have to see you constantly. Consistency, which my friend you own, is like, oh shit, it's like I see this guy again and 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 again. And it's just about dominating the attention economy. And I promise you, there's other niches that you can venture into after this because a lot of companies right now, they're trying to break into the course game because they realize people can't use their products. And I really got to go to my other call. But like,
Yeah, no worries.
first things first, get the WAP going and just start
Okay.
reposting these roles, saying like, "Hey, this person's just hiring for this. This person's hiring for that." Cool.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Thanks, Rich.
No worries. Catch you next time. Bye.
Peace.